Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Skinterviews. I'm one of your two hosts. My name is George Scandalis, and this guy is
Nathan Strong.
How are you, Nathan Strong?
I'm very good, George. How are you, buddy?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. It's nice to see you.
It is really good to see you.
You're looking good. I'm not going to lie. You're looking good.
You're always looking good. You know what?
What?
I have to say, I haven't enjoyed your hair during this growth spurt, but I'm starting to like it more.
It's you know what? Katerina Pago says my hair is on fire and I've got the best hair in the industry, and I couldn't agree more with her. I couldn't agree more with her. I don't always agree with my girl Katerina Pagos, who, my God, we name drop her like mad on here. I'm going to have to start charging her.
I know.
It's looking all right. I'm trying to get it down to here, Nathan. By season 6, I'm going to be like hair down to here.
You know what? It's starting to grow on me.
You know what? I do know that I've asked you before, and you told me, no, I like it. And which makes you a big liar. Liar. You're a liar. You lied to me for how many episodes, but now you can't lie because you brought it up yourself. So I will accept your compliment, but know that you are a liar for the rest of our life.
Fair enough.
I don't know how our sponsors, Fullscript, feel about you lying, but I will tell you that Fullscript is the ultimate platform for those who want to do wellness the right way, the personal way, because it has the industry's most comprehensive catalog of over 300 plus professional quality products, making safe supplements more accessible and affordable, and making personalized treatment plans available from the doctor to the patient. How many times am I going to have to say this in the season? 25 episodes, 25 times. Doctors, get on Fullscript and start prescribing supplementation correctly to patients. Don't let them guess down their local drugstore aisle. They want to do it the right way. For those of you that are already on Fullscript, bravo. If you want a wholesale order, you can do it directly from Fullscript.com now, as they've integrated it into their platform. So you can stock this stuff up on your shelf, and if you run out, don't worry. Prescribe it. They'll send it directly to your patient's front door.
They're changing the game, George.
They are probably one of the most advanced tech companies in our industry. And I include them in our industry because supplementation is an incredibly important approach to 360 degrees health and wellness of good skin. And there's documentation to prove it now. So, talking about health and wellness and good skin, there's our guest tonight that, I didn't want him on the show.
He's a stud.
He is a little bit of a stud. Like, usually we go to events and then he's there and I get no attention. None.
How tall is he as well?
I don't know. He's not JF tall, but he's tall.
Yeah, he is.
And for those of you that want to know who JF is, go to therevenuedoctors.com, click on the Skinterviews tab, and look up the JF episode from season 1. You love how I plug it in there, Nathan.
I love it.
So good at this.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting good.
Honestly, good morning, America. Here we come. Anyhow, so I'd just like to pull the focus away from our next guest because he is a handsome stud. But I'm just going to say, as good looking as he is, on the record, his girlfriend is so gorgeous. And she's an absolute sweetheart. And he's a really nice guy too. But most of all, he's loved by everybody in our industry because he's really good at his job.
100%.
He is the business. Did we lose each other?
You lost you again, yeah.
You lost me again. Was it me or was it you?
It was you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens during COVID. We get technical problems here and there. You get to lose people, but don't worry. I'm right here. I'm back, and we're going to keep going. So our next guest, tonight's guest, is the business development manager at Cynosure. He is at all the events I've ever been to. He is making sure companies are making great investments and making returns on their investments. And not only that, he's incredibly smart. He's incredibly kind. We've already mentioned that he's incredibly good looking. I keep bringing it up so when you see him, you're going to be like, oh, he's not that great.
I don't know. I think they'll still think he's great.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, he's no Nathan Strom. Okay? Without further ado, because I could do this forever, and we don't know how long the internet's going to last in this episode, and I think it's meant to be that way because we don't want to let people see him too long. Please welcome to the show, Nick Diclemente from Cynosure.
There's so much to unpack with that introduction. And of all the things you said about me, I'm upset you didn't mention gifted, but well, it's all right.
Actually, I was going to mention gifted, but I had to pre-screen my entire opening with Kyle Robertson first.
Yeah.
And he paid me $100 not to use the word gifted.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, if you had to find a source for that, I'm not sure we could have found a reputable one regardless. I want to tell you this story. I find it really funny because you're talking about JF. JF and I are actually undefeated in beach volleyball as a duo. So,
wow.
Yeah, I think we're like 5 or 6-0. So, challenge goes out there to anybody.
That doesn't surprise me because did he play for like Canada age group or something?
Yeah, he kind of carried the team. I'm not exactly athletically gifted. I'm just a lot of height. But between him and myself, his talent and my height, I suppose, we were able to dominate.
You two must be the tallest duo in the whole industry. I couldn't think of any two guys taller than you.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not the first way to describe us. But it's how we got the job. Actually, it's funny. It's like when we walk into the team at in the national sales meetings, all of Team Canada were giants. And I suppose it's how we got the job.
So how tall are you?
I'm only 6'3". I say only, but 6'3" to me is,
Nathan,
it's not like I'm not a basketball player. It's not like, ridiculous, but it's a good height.
You're not good. Nathan, how tall are you?
I'm just under 6'3" by like half a centimeter.
Yeah, but you've got an accent, so that makes you like.
Yeah. The half a centimeter matters, though. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, well,
depends who you ask.
Yeah. But if you're at an event with Nathan and I, and someone says, "Who's that tall guy?" It's who's like the guy with the accent. We know who that's going to be, but.
Wow. Well, I'm glad I don't attend events with either of you anymore. So, hey.
Yeah, that's nice. Actually,
what I want you to do before we continue further, I want you to lower a little bit the volume on your computer because I'm getting a little bit of an echo. And we're already having wireless technical difficulties here. So we might as well be heard if we can't be seen correctly. How does that sound? Right? We all sound good?
Is this better?
It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Are you excited about tonight?
I got to unpack that. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Actually, you know what? I went to a clinic today, and I realized that was the clinic where I first met you about maybe 2.5 years ago.
What clinic was that?
Advanced Laser in Barrie.
With Mary?
Yeah.
Well, I hope Mary is watching. Mary, I miss you very, very much. And
she only has positive things to say about you, which is surprising. I guess she doesn't know you that well. But I actually remember something from that day. I did a presentation. That's probably I just started in the industry, and I did a presentation on our body contouring device sculpture. And I remember afterwards, George went up to me, put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, "You're going to be okay." And 2 years later, I realized what he really was saying is, "You're going to be okay." I was like, "Oh, wow."
Wow.
Yeah.
Did I say that to you? Were you that bad?
In retrospect, it couldn't have been that good. I've definitely developed myself in the last 2 years.
Well, listen, you know what? Every time I've ever worked with you, I don't even remember it because every time I've worked with you has been so good that I'm like blown away by you and your talent. And I'll tell you this, every time I've ever gone to a clinic, other than the fact that they say, "Oh my God, yeah, he's such a hunk," everybody has the best things to say about you from a business perspective. And that is a lot to be said about our industry because I think our industry loves to talk about the negative. So when you find someone that talks about so much good in someone, that means you're doing something right. So you should be really proud of yourself, man.
Oh, well, thank you. It's nice to honestly, my approach to the industry, I think I come from outside. I come from consulting. So for me, I always try to unpack things from almost an umbrella perspective. So I feel like the advice, maybe at least at the beginning, they're probably tired of me saying it now, was a little bit different. So maybe a lot of people were kind of like, what's this guy up to? But no matter what happens, we remain positive, and that's kind of always been my approach. And I hope I've won over some fans in that time, but it sure helps me get through it.
You have, and we'll see how many people view this episode. That's a good way of telling us. We'll see.
Yeah. Can you filter out family and friends?
I can actually. I have
that. All right.
Well, okay. Enough about business because we're going to do that in the second half of the interview.
Perfect.
It's time to talk all about you.
Oh, okay.
All right. I want to know date of birth, weight and length at birth. How tall were you when you came out? How much did you weigh?
Oh, no.
And I want to know, is it just Nick Diclemente? Is it Nicholas Diclemente? Is there a middle name? And were you named after anyone? Is there any meaning? Go.
Okay. Born April 4th, 1988, Nicholas Peter Declemente does not recall his actual size, but I can tell you that I do know my weight because this is a long-running story. I was actually 11 pounds and 13 ounces.
You're a big baby. Wow.
Yeah, I still am. But at the time, I believe I was the second biggest baby in North York Hospital history. I did not fit in the incubator, didn't fit in the pajamas. And I even recall a story, and my mom tells it proudly, which I'm not sure why, is they were looking at me in just like a regular bed, and someone was like, "Oh, I can't believe, I feel so bad for their mother." And my mom was like, "Yeah, me too."
Your mom is a legend. Wow.
I know. I was the last of her children, so I think that probably explains why.
After that, like, shop is closed.
Yeah,
wow.
She went through a lot.
My two kids were both 7'1". So like you were almost double the size of my kids. My wife would have
that's wow. My dog was less than like a pound when she was born. So.
Yeah. Are you comparing me to your dog?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Pretty much. A lot of similarities. I actually genuinely do like cookies, so fair enough.
I'm totally crushing on your dog, by the way. Like
Gus is a legend.
Gus is my internet love of my life.
Yeah, he's a good looking boy.
Yeah, he's amazing.
This is the part where you edit and you show a picture of him later on, and people go, "Oh, we should have had him on the show."
You were supposed to send us pictures in your prep package, so we would have had him on the show. But
preparing is a funny thing. Now it's going to be more organic. It's not going to feel scripted. And excuse me for my procrastination / actually may have forgotten. I may have seen that about an hour ago. And if it was a big deal, they would have brought it up.
That's okay. Your coworker didn't even know it was a video cast when we did our first one.
I'm actually happy to hear that because I've seen that video cast and he did not really dress the part.
No.
Yeah.
He was our first. He wasn't the first one we launched, but he was our first ever. And I ring him up with like half an hour to go, and I'm like, "Are you ready?" And I think he'd been out for a run or something.
That's unlikely. He was just sweating. That's the thing he does.
He was still in his gym gear, and he was like, "Oh, maybe I should like do my hair or something." I'm like, "Yeah, this is going to be on video."
Do you have many guests who have backwards hats on during their interviews?
We haven't had it yet.
We've had a variety of things. Season 2, everybody's come with their game on. They've seen season 1, so they've brought their A game. So
yeah.
Anyhow, continuing in the interview, how many siblings are you?
I have directly. I have an older brother and an older sister, and they're 8 years and 6 years older than me.
Wow! And who was mom and dad's favorite growing up?
As a younger child, it must have been me. I had the most character, and I was definitely the most modest. Yeah. You know what? It's a tough one because if you ask your parents, they say like, "Oh, we love them both equally." Yeah. But I don't know. But I'm not gonna provide an answer, but I could speculate, and I go, it's probably my sister. Who are we getting? My sister. It's probably my sister.
What about as an adult? Is it still your sister?
Without question, as an adult, it's my sister. Yeah.
Okay.
She's the one who brings the family together, makes the phone calls. She even knows, like, I should probably remind Nick. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm late. But, yeah, there's no doubt.
Awesome.
So growing up, what's something that you remember that you guys used to do on the weekend that would bring the family together?
I was actually thinking about that earlier. And I don't have too many memories as a child doing a lot of things as a family because my parents separated when I was about 7. And I have a lot of memories with my siblings. I have a lot of memories with my family. I think it's like family at dinners on like my nonna's house. I'm Italian, so you can imagine how that would be. Lots of gnocchi, lots of pasta. That would probably be something that I recall the most. And other than that, probably cottage weekends.
Awesome. And birthdays. What was one of your most memorable birthdays growing up?
Oh, I had a birthday party where we invited all my friends. Obviously, lots of people attended, and my brother broke one of my friend's arms, and it's probably one that I remember not for the right reasons. It was an accident. But it's funny because my dad actually warned him, like, you got to settle down. They're just kids. And my brother's like, not having it. A win is a win.
Was he like wrestling them, or was there a bounce?
It was a game of soccer, which I believe is a non-contact sport for the most part. But all wounds heal. So,
what about adult birthdays? Is there a birthday that you don't remember for a certain reason?
Yeah. Honestly, so like my birthday is April 4th, and from 18 to 24 through all of university and undergrad, that was right in the middle of exams. So I really didn't do anything. And then when you're 25, I don't know, I feel like it's weird if people celebrate me. That shouldn't be a daily thing. That should be something that you're just doing, But yeah, I mean, oh no, I do have one. I do. Oh no. I can't remember. It was my 29th, 30th birthday for a few reasons. And I was dancing and I woke up with horrible knee pain. And it took me about 2 years of recovery to get over that injury.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh. And I've told my girlfriend since, if I'm dancing, take me home. It's not good. It's not funny for anybody.
You on the dance floor for like 2 or 3 hours, or was it?
Probably.
Or did you just tweak something?
It was probably a while. I mean, honestly, I can't recall the details of the event. I recall where it was, and maybe some of whom I was with. But I don't think I've danced since. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And the most important lesson your parents have taught you growing up, or maybe in your adult life?
Yeah, for my mother, it's like just love, right?
Yeah.
And then for my father, work ethic. The man is a human pack mule. Yeah, he'll get more done in the grave than I will. It's incredible. I always look at him and I go, if I worked twice as hard, it would be a fraction of what this man is capable of doing in a day.
Yeah.
So a mixture of those two people is probably an explanation for who I am.
Awesome.
That's amazing. Are you still best friends with your very first best friend?
Unfortunately, no. And I don't know why. We reconnected a few years ago, and then it was just like, it's nice seeing you. But no. I have a group of very, very close, I guess 2 or 3 groups of very close friends, but they're from, high school-ish kind of time.
Yeah. And were you part of the popular crew in high school?
I'll cut you off there. Absolutely not.
Really?
No. It actually makes me laugh. No. I'll send you a picture of my grade 9 yearbook photo after this. I know Alyssa has a copy because it brings me down to earth every once in a while. I don't remember when I was Filipino, but apparently for a year I was. It was amazing. I think frosted tips, gold chain, 50 or 60 pounds more. It was horrific. But yeah, it was always just kind of like invisible when I was in high school. And then I think this version of me probably came about close to my early 20s, 22, 23.
You're obviously very animated, and you've probably got 1,000 embarrassing stories, but I want one that no one's ever heard before.
Oh.
Like,
I don't know how many. So, like, a big thing about me is I probably have a lot of them from nights out. But one day in particular, it's probably a story that I'm sorry, but I love to tell this story because I just think it sums me up so well. I am like so extreme and so diligent when it comes to everything in my life. I'm up at 5. I go to the gym, go for a run. I pre-make all my meals. Everything's done. All my notes have to the half hour of what I'll be doing that day. But if I get out of that regiment, I just binge, and I can't stop myself. It's like my eyes go away, and I just just tunnel on whatever it is. So many years ago in a different life, I was working abroad. I was working in Kathmandu, Nepal, and I was eating no carbs. And it was my birthday. I think I was turning 28 or something like that. And I thought, I'm going to have some drinks, maybe a pizza, and just enjoy the day. So I had 2 full pizzas, and over there the beers are giant. If you've ever seen the Asian, like they're massive.
Yeah.
I had probably 8 of those, and on the walk home, there was this Canadian cafe where they had loaves of pumpkin and banana bread. I ate a loaf of each, not a slice, a loaf. Went home, continued to eat a bag of licorice, Skittles, and then went out for ice cream and tacos with some friends of mine.
What?
I was horrifically ill. Like, I can't even go into the explanation of that. And you think like, oh, you would have learned a lesson. I probably do that once a month to this day.
No, that's like
Yeah.
every day at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I would love to have one drink with you guys, but that would turn into several more. And because I just get caught up. I get so caught up in whatever I'm doing, especially if I'm having fun, and then I lose control. In a good way. In a good way. This is an intervention.
Well, you know what? We went out for dinner recently, and
Yeah.
everyone was drinking but me, and you guys were pretty good. You were well behaved.
I wasn't drinking.
He wasn't
It was a
drinking.
lie.
You weren't
Yeah.
drinking? It was just
I don't even drink carbonated water because it upsets my stomach.
we didn't
So-
drink.
No, I didn't.
It was
Remember, I had those big bowls of coffee.
it was just Kyle and I having a beer.
Yeah.
No, you had like a lot of beers, Nathan.
I had a couple of vodkas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kept telling me how beautiful I am on the way home.
Listen to it. Listen to it. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you were like, I really like your hair.
Yeah. Oh, I probably had the scissors in the back of my pocket trying to cut it while you were driving.
All right, Nick. Did you have a favorite teacher in high school or through university or college or whatever you went to that you would want to talk about? Or was there a teacher that you want to call out on Skinterviews for being a bully?
Oh. You know, I will stay away from the bullies because I do have a teacher in mind. And the worst part is no matter, I'm thinking of his name and I cannot think of his name and I feel terrible about it. But there was a teacher of mine in university. So I majored in history and I was fascinated with World War II. To this day, it's a little odd in terms of the depth of that knowledge. But what I didn't realize is not every school focused on that. And when I got to my university, they had no courses on it, but they had a lot of courses on Native American history. And there was one teacher, and I didn't really care much for the subject matter, but he was just so incredible that I followed him for my 4 years there. I think I took 5 of his classes.
Wow.
I've got to get that guy's name. I don't have a great memory.
Well, it might come up during the interview. So
Yeah.
I'll let Nathan take it away because he gets to ask all the good questions about your beautiful woman.
Oh, here we go.
Obviously, you're a morning person.
I am now. That took a lot of work. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. And caffeine. Yeah.
So I want to know who wears the pants in your relationship.
I would be lying if I said I did. It's funny because we're looking at houses right now, and I was like, "There's no point in looking right now. We're not going to go till February." And she's like, "We're going to be looking right now." I'm like, "No, we're not going to. It's a waste of our time. We'll probably be going to look at places this weekend, so at least next weekend."
Have you started, or is this going to be the first weekend?
Well, we've been looking for quite some time online, just getting an idea. But now's the time we're jumping in the market. So we'll probably go see our first home in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Wow.
I fall in love immediately. I have very low standards when it comes to places. I'm like, this is charming. This tent in the park, it's beautiful. How much square footage? 70? That's great.
So what's one thing you do that drives your lovely missus up the wall?
One thing?
Everything. I think a little bit of craziness in a relationship is probably a good thing. We keep each other on each other's toes. Probably like, remember when we go back to that strict adherence to things, where if I'm like, I'm not doing that, then I'm not doing it. But so much to choose from. I'm a little bit of a nerd, so that probably gets on our nerves every once in a while as well. But I don't know. You'd have to ask her.
And what's one thing that drives you up the wall? With
Here we go. One thing? I should turn this camera around so you can see some of the mess, although that one's mine, so maybe not. Yeah. Oh, I got to be so careful with answering this question.
I love it.
You know what? I'll say it is like her selection of TV shows is not in congruence with what I would be selecting.
Wow.
Yeah.
George will go into that a bit later, but I'm interested to see what your choices are versus hers. But so was it love at first sight for you?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no question.
And if we asked her, what would she say?
She would agree. She would agree.
Wow.
Yeah, that like we probably replay our first date sometimes. It was such a special night. Like literally there's curtains that kind of were in front of the door. The moment she walked through, it was like, 90s kind of pop music playing. Well, I can't remember that. So kiss me. She walked through the doors, all slow motion, and and it's been like that ever since.
So where did you meet?
Well, that's the unromantic part. We did meet online, but we chased each other for probably 2 or 3 months, and then I canceled on her. She canceled on me. I actually had to cancel on her because I got this job. But yeah, it finally came together, and we've been inseparable ever since.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Adorable. That's the second couple we've had that have met online on our show.
Yeah, it is.
It is, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And who made the first move then when it came to that time?
In terms of what?
Wow. Well, we want the good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It was probably the wine that made that move for us. Yeah.
Always the case.
Red or white?
I actually remember our first kiss. There's a little bit of debate over when it occurred, but if you've ever been to the bar Sweaty Betty's on Ossington, it's not the cleanest establishment, but it's got a lot of character. And there's this just gross kind of couch in this middle room, and we're sitting down on it, and we saw this couple kissing. We're like, that's disgusting. Why are you doing that? 5 minutes later, we were doing the exact same thing. Yeah. The coach has seen a lot of things, but yeah, our first kiss was probably one of them. She would argue it was in the park on the way to the bar we went to, but yeah, it's up for debate.
So what do you think you do that annoys Kyle Robertson the most?
Yes, this is great.
Honestly, I only took this job so I had more opportunities to bully him. And I know it sounds like a bad thing, but I feel like it brings out the best in him. Because I would argue, where would he be without me behind him, kind of bringing him down a little bit?
That is ridiculously not nice.
Yeah, I know.
You're so
it's
quick.
Not a good thing.
You're so quick on him. Like it's hilarious. Like you pounce any chance you get.
I know. It doesn't matter the audience. It doesn't matter the time. There's been times in meetings where somebody set me up unknowingly, and I literally looked at him and went, so I want to say this. We'll say it when we get in the car.
1 second, because I got Kyle on the phone here.
Oh, no.
Kyle.
Yeah? I thought you said it was phone a friend.
You are live on Skinterviews here.
Oh, hello.
Hello. And I want to ask you, what does Nick Diclemente do at work, if anything at all?
I'm honestly not too sure. Did he roughly articulate what he does in a normal day?
Well, he says he does your job.
No, I said I did his job better than he does.
Oh.
It's true.
It's true. Okay, and tell me something.
To work. I mean, he does a great job. I agree.
Tell me something about Nick that annoys the hell out of you.
Oh,
jokes. The fat jokes.
Oh, he makes fat jokes about you or about me?
No, about himself. And it's just, I feel so bad. Like, I keep telling him, like, he looks great. You don't need to lose any more weight. And, it's really tough,
Oh, Kyle.
Kyle, I can't stop laughing, but I'm really upset because if Nick thinks he's fat, what me? All right, Kyle, that was it. I just wanted to give you a second to redeem yourself because Nick has not been very nice about you on Skinterviews. So to find out exactly what he's saying, you're going to have to watch the episode.
All right, I will.
You might be the only one that does.
Especially especially if they see Nick Diclemente on.
It happens all the time. Kyle, we'll call you once the episode's over, and we'll tell you exactly what he said about you.
I like this.
Fun, boys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
That's the first on Skinterviews.
So funny story about Kyle. So Kyle and I have actually known each other since I'd be hard to go back, but I think since high school, because he's friends with my cousin way back from high school. And I've known him for years, and I was in consulting, and I was kind of, working the desk job, and I was miserable. Maybe I didn't know it at the time, but I thought it was the right path for me. And Kyle was the one who said, Nick, stop what you're doing. Come work with me. You're going to absolutely love this job. You're going to be terrific at it. He was right about all of that. And it took him a while. It was probably about a year and a half until the opportunity that came up was something that I would consider. And then, so I actually owe Kyle a lot of gratitude, because he was the one who pushed me into doing this. And then when I got into this role, he's also the one that has helped develop me, and I owe him a lot. I even bought him a watch once. So
you're such a wimp. You had.
I know.
You were a whole different.
I gotta give him some credit.
You had a chance.
Wait, this isn't recorded, is it?
Once you knew he was watching this, all of a sudden you sing a different.
Do you honestly think he's going to download this?
No.
but you know what? He converted me to this industry as well.
Oh my God, George! Did he get you too?
No, I got him.
Yeah, George got him. Yeah,
I got him. I've got him.
So you're patient zero. That makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. Tell me, what's your favorite song to work out to right now?
Oh, I think actually, I'm one of those weird people that actually works out to podcasts. I don't know how it started, because it's not like it pumps you up. I'm listening to audiobooks like Ray Dalio's Principles. I'm like, that is something I should do to change my life. But Dua Lipa lately, every single time it comes on, I'm like, okay.
Do you get in the shower?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't. No. Never
at all. Like in the car, driving, maybe.
Yeah, no, I definitely do in the car here and there. Yeah.
Like, give me a little one-liner there.
For what? I am not. This is off limits. I'm not going to sing on camera. Remember when I was saying, if I start dancing, you got to take me home? When I start singing at a karaoke place, it's like a double red flag. Get me out of there.
Well, Nathan didn't pounce on the opportunity, but I'm going to. When you're listening to the podcast, make sure that you either use Stitcher, Apple, or Spotify, and check out Skinterviews by Nathan and George to catch all the episodes of Season 1 and all our Season 2 episodes.
I'll do it. Hold on. Do you want me to get my phone out right now?
Download it. Because as soon as you download, my phone will go off. I get a notification.
We'll know if you download.
Can I leave a review?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
On your own episode if you want.
Yeah. Oh, I'll get to it.
Favorite TV series of yours and favorite TV series of your lovely girlfriends?
Well, we enjoyed Game of Thrones together, but I'll separate that. In terms of my favorite show all time, that's such a difficult question because there's so much good stuff out there. The first half of Lost was fantastic. The second half doesn't keep up the high standard. And then for her, I got to be careful because we love the show Below Deck. Have you ever seen that show?
Oh, my wife and I watch that a lot. Yeah,
and it's funny because she watched the first few seasons like, this is so dumb, and then the next season I'm there watching like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing with the anchor, and that is not how you set a table. So
it's addictive that show. My wife and I've got onto that. Yeah,
I don't know why, but I do enjoy it.
Well, my wife and I gutted that we didn't do that. Because we traveled a lot and we didn't think of doing that as a job. It would have been an amazing job as a young 20-year-old.
Yeah, but as someone who's nearly 6'3", not entirely 6'3", Nathan, I don't think living in a boat is for you and myself. I don't want to walk around like this all the time.
I did it in Croatia and it was okay, but it is. You're bent over when you're sleeping. Like you have to almost go.
Have you seen those sleeping quarters?
Yeah, they're tough. But it's the traveling the world and having fun and someone else paying for it for you.
It does sound fun, but not sleeping properly. I don't know. I'd be on the show for 2 weeks before I quit. I'd be like, I can't do it. I'm not getting my 8 hours. I'd just be miserable the whole time.
Nicholas,
Yes.
if I were to make a movie about your life, who's the actor that would play your part?
Kyle always says that I have the same kind of cadence and speech as Daniel Tosh, the comedian, but he doesn't look a thing like me, so I'm not going there. I don't know. I was actually, another job way back in the day, I was doing celebrity security stuff, and Henry Cavill, who's Superman, walked by, and some guy's like, "You look just like him, but you're way bigger." And I was like, "Oh, I'm bigger than Superman." Mind you, he's tacked on a lot of muscle since. I think he's got me beat, but Henry Cavill, he can play me if he's open to it.
And who would play the part of your lovely girlfriend?
Alyssa has been an actress herself, so I think she can play her own role.
She would hold her own.
Yeah.
That's going to get you some brownie points, that
I
answer.
know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see anyone else on screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. That was good.
Wow.
Yeah.
This relationship's going places.
I know.
well, now we know 2 people are going to watch Skinterviews.
She's going to be recording all the good parts.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get a 5-star rating from her as well. So we should maybe, because we're 37 minutes in and we haven't talked any business yet, so we should maybe
word of my title.
Yeah, we should. Let's talk some work. And I'll start it off with an easy question. What makes our industry so great, in your opinion?
Actually, I had to write something for our social media account lately, and I was kind of I sat back and thought, why do I actually love doing this job? And there's a few reasons. One, the big thing is really the quality of life improvements for a lot of the people we're able to help. Because sometimes when you're on the business side, all you're thinking about is, okay, this treats rosacea. Okay, this will get rid of fat. But you're forgetting about the way that rosacea or that fat impacts that person. And at Cynosure, we also have a lot of, devices in women's health, and being able to provide some, improvements in quality of life there is incredible. I've been at events that, I've almost, or maybe a little bit, have been moved to tears. So that's a big part. And then honestly, another part is really helping some of these practices realize their dreams and giving these doctors more time to be able to pursue other things that they want to do. But yeah, honestly, it's so much fun. Even on my worst days, I'm probably driving home with a big smile on my face. It's just like, what I get to do is so fun. And I actually, one of the things that's kind of upsetting about COVID is I genuinely do miss going to events and seeing people from all the different companies. And because, for the most part, we're all very, very friendly, very cordial. And there's a lot of people who've been on your show that I would love to see again. Yeah. They know who they are.
Yeah. 100% agree with that. Now, and so lastly, before I hand you over to George, what is the hardest thing, or what's something that pisses you off in this industry, or the hardest thing that you have to do in this industry?
Yes, I think sometimes it's just managing so many different kind of characters, because it's weird, because in my job, I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm just trying to go in there and help their business grow. And when you do that for the first couple times, you're starting to build that rapport and that relationship. But I've known a lot of these people now for 3 years. So, we're texting as friends as well. So it's kind of balancing that relationship, balancing how I can actually help them. And then, what we actually have to do at Cynosure. Certain people obviously, are squeakier wheels and require a little bit more application of my time, which I'm more than happy to do. But it's just managing that with people who aren't the first people to reach out to you. And you're like, you haven't reached out to me for 2 months. I didn't know you needed my help. I'm so sorry. And I want to help you. Let's schedule something for tomorrow. I'll move other things. But I think over the last 3 years, I've hopefully done a better job at being able to have regular cadence with everybody, especially those who need it or desire it.
Awesome.
I'm going to give you a big plug in here to talk about whatever you absolutely want at Cynosure. And I'll segue with a question of, you guys treat a lot of different things. You brought it up yourself. Everything from laser hair removal to IPLs to women's health to fat loss to body contouring. What is your absolute favorite? Like, if you went into an event and you were to do this at every single event for the next 3 years, 8 hours a day, what is it?
So it's a difficult question, because we do have a lot of different products, and I've done a lot of those treatments. I just recently had a 3 for Me, which is our IPL with our 1540 non-ablative fractional, and I think they look pretty good. Hold on. But I think
you're about to get fired.
come a little closer. Right now, I would have to say we just released a monopolar radio frequency world's first ever wrappable applicator called Flexure. And when I first saw it at our national sales meeting, probably about a year ago, I was with Kyle. I'm always with Kyle. This is going to be a common thread here. And I looked at it and I went, that will never get Health Canada approval. And Kyle was like, no, that's going to happen. It's going to be the biggest device ever. And then out of nowhere, maybe about 3 months ago, we found out that not only was it got FDA approved, but Health Canada approved at the same time, which never happens. In my time at Cynosure, it's not happened once. Usually we have to wait about 6 months to a year. And yeah, we've been talking a lot about Flexure in the past 3 months. And I finally, on Monday, got to be there for my first live treatment, and it's even cooler in person than I thought. Awesome. And some of the initial feedback we're getting from some of our accounts is, one of the issues with body contouring is precision, like being exactly where we want to be. And the fact that we can stick this thing on and be like, oh, you know what about this? And then perfect treatment. Completely comfortable, completely hands-free. We have some cowboy doctors being a little experimental, doing laser and injections while this thing is on, doing treatments as well. It's honestly, I had my hopes up here, and having seen it, they've only continued to rise. And I think you'll be seeing a lot more of that in the next month or two as we really start to get into clinics and they establish their routines with it. But it really is the next generation in terms of skin tightening.
Amazing.
I'm excited. We're going to have to We're going to have to get one of these treatments, George.
I can't wait to get one.
Yeah. I want to get one as well. So all three of us, the Brady bunch here, or we'll all do it.
Love that.
You guys can put it on your mind. I'm just gonna wrap it all over my face.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? Oh.
I'm sure that's probably in the works too. It's in the works. I'm sure.
No comment.
If I were to ask your coworkers, and not Kyle.
Yeah.
Not Kyle.
Anybody? So the ones that matter. I like this.
Probably one positive thing about you and one negative thing about you. What would they say?
My unrelenting positivity would be my most positive feature. And you know what? Actually, it's something I kind of pride myself on is when we're together and, something's not going the way they wanted, I'm the first person to crack a joke. And I think some of the times there's even looks of I can't believe during all of this, he still has a sense of humor. And it just doesn't go away. I'm the same way with you guys as I am with my girlfriend, as I am with my family, as I am with my coworkers. So they'll probably tell you just beaming positivity. And on the negative side, it's also that beaming positivity. It can be, I'm confident it can be a little irritating time to time. And the other thing is being serious for a second, there are times where I look at things, I think in a different direction, and it may be a little not standard for how things are typically done. And I present that and I go all in because I truly believe in presenting something this way. And it maybe at times it's probably not ideal.
Yeah, but I love someone that puts their heart on their sleeve.
I do that. And I guess you love me.
No, I think that's a great trait to have. And I love people that are so passionate for the cause. I think we need more of you out there, especially in these times.
Don't get creepy, Nathan.
But that kind of then I lose what makes me different, and then I'm just another one. But it's funny. I the other day I wasn't feeling great, and I walked into a clinic. I started to do a training, and I was a little mellow. And by the end of it, I was all myself again. I realized I really, really do care about this stuff a lot, because the second I get into it, I lose my mind in it, and I get so excited and so pumped up at the thought or the opportunity to be able to help some of these accounts.
Yeah. So on that note, you have a very positive personality. Has there been a time in your life where you've reached a down spot, from a mental health or anxiety point of view?
Yeah, I think when you're going through grad school, one of my issues when I was younger and to this day is that I don't do something until it has to get done. It's a terrible trait. Do not wish it upon anybody. But if I will just look at a task and go, it'll take me about 90 minutes. And I'll do a good job, but I know how long it'll take. So there'll be times where I finished my graduate thesis, I think 90 minutes before it was due. And it's a 120-page document. And it was horrifically, it was so much anxiety in terms of, why would you do that to yourself?
How did you do on it?
Yeah, and then I was saying before I was living abroad for a while, and just being alone, it's great because you can get some perspective, but also being alone, shocking, it can be lonely. And then you start to realize, like, I really miss some of the connections, and yeah, it was important to realize that.
Yeah. And my next question on the sort of mental health, anxiety areas, where I'd like to think of us as three young males. We're probably George and I are probably getting a little bit older into maybe middle-aged males.
Yeah, where's the other one?
But but as men, we're pretty bad at talking about this stuff. What do you think we need to do as males from a mental health point of view to, one, look after our friends and our colleagues when it comes to this sort of topic?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's important that when you're building relationships with people, that you have that openness, the transparency of, like, anything you tell me, it's okay. We'll work through this together. I've probably too much of an open book, so I'm probably the worst person to ask because it's just the way I am. Like, we could start talking for 10 minutes. I'm like, so here are all the problems I'm having. How do you solve them? And here's some data I brought in to support my case. So yeah, I've had that discussion before where I'll pull someone aside. I'm like, are we not supposed to talk about, what I just talked about? Is that offside? Because I kind of like am like my dog, where it's just like everyone's friend. But yeah, I think it's just there's a certain confidence, and maybe some people don't have it sometimes, but it's a certain confidence when being able to just share yourself with people and allow them to provide input. But
I like that.
Yeah, even as I say that, I'm like, there's definitely times where my girlfriend will say great advice, and I'm just too stubborn to take it at the time. Maybe later, like a couple hours later, I'll go, yeah. Do I tell her she was right, or do I just keep going and hope she forgets? That's probably what I do.
So, and I've got one more question in this segment before I pass you on to George for the fun part of the evening. But 18-year-old Nick meets you today. What's the one piece of advice you would give 18-year-old Nick?
I think just, it sounds corny, but just chin up. I always when I was at that age, I was always thinking, like, why not me? Why can't these great things happen for me? And I was always looking so much at what other people's successes were and comparing myself to them. And I think I only found my success when I focused on really what I enjoyed doing and dived 110% into that. And, here I am. The products of most of my success come from the things that I enjoy doing and pursue that I never in a million years thought I would have. Even 18-year-old Nick would go, wow, I used to be really skinny. And then I went through kind of like a chubbier phase, but I was never into fitness. That was never a thing. And then right around 20, I was like, I'm going to dedicate my whole life to this. Why not? I'm going to go every day. So I think, yeah.
Wow. Nick, I'm going to ask you one more question before we get into the quick fire questions.
All right, let's do it.
And this is a question I don't think I've ever asked anybody on the show, because I usually tend to stay away from, going directly into branding and companies and business, but we stay more towards the person. But we've had a few people from Cynosure on the show. Mm-hmm. And, somebody might say that we're showing favoritism, and I want to clear that we're not. These are people that are excellent in the industry, and we're open to anybody from the industry being on our show. But it does beg me to ask the question of, with so many different companies and so many amazing people in the industry, how does one pick what device, what company, who to work with? Like, what do you think are those important factors that really separate who you are and where you are versus everyone else, let's say?
Oh, it's such a difficult question to answer, right? Because I've only ever worked in this industry for Cynosure, but I can tell you why I'm exceedingly happy at Cynosure, and it really is the culture. And it's great that we have innovation back again. But when I look around at my colleagues, I genuinely see them all as friends, even as the ones, I don't get to see enough of out in BC or in Alberta. I'll jump on a phone call with them when I'm driving back from Windsor, and suddenly 2 hours go by and I'm thinking, Jenna, this happened again. One of my colleagues in Toronto, she just moved out to BC, and I chatted with her probably for an hour again the other day. So it's just about strong connections. It can be competitive internally, but it's a healthy thing. If any of them ever need help with talk tracks, with anything, with helping any regard, there's no hesitation from anybody across the country to reach out to one another. And I really, really do appreciate that. And I think that's why within a few months of working here, it began to feel like home. And I can't imagine a world where I'm not here. Yeah, I love it. I don't know what things are like at every other company. Maybe this is what it's like everywhere in this industry, is just the golden goose. But yeah, I'm very fortunate to be here where I am.
I got to tell you that, I've worked for a few companies, and every company is going to have their ups and downs. But the reality is our industry is so great that it doesn't matter where you work. It has to do with the people. And I think that one thing I love about Skinterviews is we're no longer in a place of, friendly competitive barriers. We get to be amazingly involved with everybody, and everybody feels the same way no matter where they're working, that, their team is the best, their company is the best. And that speaks volumes for our industry, because it makes us all rise. And I love that. So, all right, well, let's get into our quick fire questions. You ready, young man?
Here we go. I'm ready.
Okay. What's the favorite thing in your closet right now?
Oh, my Liverpool jersey.
Okay.
Massive
You're a Liverpool fan.
Look at my phone. I even got Liverpool.
Oh, no.
I know. Not even a fan, like diehard.
So you've had a good.
I don't know if Nathan had a stroke or if he's frozen. What do you think?
Yeah.
Oh.
he's just there. Oh.
Down to his root, he's upset. But no, I've ever since I've been about 6 or 7 years old, just a diehard Liverpool fan.
You've had a good couple of years then.
It's been nice. Honestly, it was a decade in the waiting, but it's great. And I've let it go to my head, just so you know. I'm a better person now for having a team that's winning. That's for sure.
I hate Liverpool.
That's why your connection got lost there.
Yeah.
Did I freeze?
Yes.
I actually,
He froze like this.
No.
Okay, Nick, if I open your fridge right now, what is the one thing that you would be embarrassed about me seeing?
The amount of eggs I have in my fridge at a time. There's probably about 60 eggs in there right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And what's your guilty food pleasure?
Eggs.
Again, I'm a binger, so like I would do anything for licorice. But honestly, I have a very unhealthy obsession with energy drinks. It fuels. I know. It fuels me. I have one in the morning at 5.
What?
And today, actually, I should say it in case I pass away from this, but I've had 5 today and a coffee. What? I know it's not healthy. You guys got to help me here. And they're not even the small ones. They're quite large.
Wow, you need an intervention, because at your height, all that stimulant cannot be good for your heart.
I know, it's not. I know.
What's your energy drink of choice?
Anything without sugar. Yeah. So for me, like I just desperately crave things that are sweet, and energy drinks, when they're sugar free, at least provide that sweetness. So I'm not craving candy. I may be 32, but I have the appetite of like a 9-year-old.
I understand. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Dark.
Sour candies or ice cream?
Sour candies. But I should say, I recently saw Sour Patch Kids ice cream, and I was like, that's disgusting, but is it?
I love Sour Patch Kids. So
the Sour Patch ice cream?
Sour candies or licorice?
There is sour licorice. So the Sour Belts licorice, I would have to. Oh, you got me. You almost got me there, but I got out of that one.
If you could be from any other decade or era, which would it be?
The next one. Yeah.
Whoa.
Keep going forward. You got to be optimistic.
Your house is on fire. Your girl and Gus are safe.
Oh.
What are the 2 things you run back in to get?
Ooh, I have some soccer memorabilia that I would probably be going for, and probably my computer. Like I said, I'm a little bit of a nerd, so it's heavy though, so I'm not actually sure I'd be able to get that out in one go.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Any tattoos?
No tattoos, but we have a great tattoo removal device. So
if
too.
Good plug.
If you were to get one, where would you put it?
Probably on my back. I don't think it would want to be something that I would routinely see, but I think on my back. Maybe you'll never walk alone, Nathan. You'll never walk alone. Maybe a liver bird on the back.
Oh wow!
Do you prefer talking or texting?
I definitely prefer talking. 100%.
You can either speak every single language in the world or communicate directly with Gus, your doggy.
Gus and I communicate enough with our eyes, so I'll take the languages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your ultimate best friend would be Beyonce
Nathan.
or Rihanna.
He picked me.
Nathan wasn't an option.
He picked me.
Yeah. Oh, I jumped the gun. What was the question, George?
Who would be your ultimate best friend, Beyonce or Rihanna?
Rihanna. I think Beyonce's too mature for me.
White
I feel
or
like,
whole wheat?
yeah.
White or
She's
whole wheat?
Rye.
French
I know. It's actually a good question because we get breakfast quite a lot ordered, and I'm always like the rye toast. If they don't have rye, we're switching up joints.
French fries or potato chips?
I'm not a huge fan of either, but a good French fry, like a shoestring, or like the curly ones with a little bit of spice. Those are my mouth's watering. Maybe I am, and maybe I do like French fries.
Okay, you're going to the industry event of the year. Which designer is dressing you?
I'd have to let my girlfriend choose that. So I have my own tailor, John. So it would be John. So John would actually be the one to do it, and he actually dresses Kyle now as well. So Kyle looks like an adult as of the last year. So that came on my recommendation. I was like, you gotta go to John. You look terrible.
We've got one of those guys in Ottawa as well, but I think his name's Jeff. And you ring him up, you knock on his door, and it opens up one of those like garage doors. You go in there, and he's just got suits for Africa, and they measure you up. And now, whenever you go back, once you've measured up once, you just tell them, and you pick the color, and it turns up in 2 weeks. Is it similar?
No, well, John came to my house and measured me, then showed me through like all the books of what would look good for me and based on what I was looking for, and then came back several times for alterations and did a fantastic job. I would definitely recommend him, and I did, Kyle, and he's helped him a lot. You guys saw him? That suit he was wearing, that blue one he's got?
Yeah, he has upped his game, actually.
He has upped his game. Ever since being on that episode of Skinterviews, he learned his lesson.
Yeah. Don't come sweaty. That's the new rule for him.
A place you haven't traveled to but is on your bucket list.
Oh, we talk about going to Portugal and Spain all the time. I think the Portuguese have perfected food. That roasted chicken with those ball potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also that egg tart dessert thing they have. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
It looks like a butter tart, but it's phenomenal. I'm sure you've had it before. It's amazing.
Ones?
Yeah,
those are amazing.
Ridiculous.
But they're really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, final one of your final quick fire questions. These are supposed to be quick, by the way.
Yeah.
Just because you keep talking forever.
I know.
You get to have dinner with God, not me, the real God, and are granted one question. What would you ask?
Oh, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Yeah, so God was actually a nickname for a former Liverpool player as well, Robbie Fowler. So if I was having dinner with him, I would have a few other questions as well.
You are just rubbing it in Nathan's face about Liverpool. Okay, and the final question of the night, which I think is obvious, but Nathan or me?
This may come as a surprise, because I did have drinks with Nathan at the top of the Andaz in Ottawa the first time we met. But I'd have to give it to George. He knows why. We have a little bit of a bond, a little bit of a friendship.
How the hell have I lost here?
Honestly, I'm surprised you're surprised.
The email transfer with the money just went through.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. When I went into this today, I went, it's Nathan. It's not Nate. Ah! I thought his name was Nate Storm. He's like a superhero.
Oh wow! George is paying the guests this season. I'm getting destroyed.
Well, at least someone's getting paid this season.
Yeah. What's the running tally right now?
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not making any money. Whatever I make, I'm giving it back to the guests.
Not on the money, on the preference for George.
Oh no, all Nathan.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. Okay.
It is. You know what? It is because this is how it works. people pick me because they're scared of what I'll do to Nathan if they pick him.
Or scared of what you'll do to us. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. So
I just feel like your threats aren't empty, and that's something I want people to know about you. Yeah.
I appreciate that in a really weird way because it wasn't a compliment, but
it could be depending on how you take it. Yeah.
Listen, I'm a really nice person. I don't know why anybody would think I'm aggressive.
It's in your eyes as you speak.
Oh my God, Nathan and I have walked out of business meetings. I'm like, Nathan, I have no idea why people think I'm aggressive, and he's like,
that's when he goes, do I deal with this now or later?
No.
Listen, I'm not aggressive. I'm honest. That's a good thing, right? Like, Nathan has lied to me about my hair for 8 episodes. 8 episodes. He was only honest today.
Wow.
So would you rather have a Nathan or a George? And if you can't decide, you can get us both. Nick, honestly, man, it's been great having you on here tonight.
My pleasure, gentlemen.
It took way longer than I thought it would. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan as it is, but we do have that special bond. I really like your dog. And no, but in all seriousness, man, thank you so much for being on here. And, you know, you're pretty special in this industry. And I don't know if you know it as much as people from outside of Cynosure do. And the way that we see things now, and even other laser companies, we've heard the best things about you, which usually in that realm, they try to avoid talking about other people. But, you know, you're really making an impact. And that's a big deal. And I'm glad to have met you, and I'm glad to have worked with you. And more so, I'm glad that you were on Skinterviews. Not that anybody will watch it, but you know.
Guys, thank you. It was a pleasure being here. And George's very kind words. It means a lot to me. Yeah, I'm lost for words, which is very rare. I love to talk.
Thank God we're over an hour.
We got 2 more questions.
Are we setting up the sequel?
Two more questions before we let you go. Because it's called Skinterviews, we need to relate it back to the skin. So what's your current skincare regimen, or what are you doing for your skin, apart from obviously the wonderful Cynosure lasers?
Yeah, right now, so one of my things is I'm always mixing it up when it comes to sunscreens, trying to figure out what's best for me because I have a little bit of oily skin. I'm using Kula that Susie at Laser Generation gave me, and honestly, a big fan. I'm pretty impressed by it. And then Vivier. We're kind of a Vivier household here.
Oh,
yeah.
Kula's great. Kula's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it's really good. I highly recommend it.
Have you tried the spray, the
No
body spray? Yeah, I use that when I'm on vacation. It's really good.
I'll look into that.
Yeah.
And is there a special someone out there that you would like to nominate for the next Skinterview?
I actually do have somebody in mind. There's a gentleman who is our national sales trainer, Joshua Smith out of California. This guy is absolutely incredible. There's not enough to describe this guy. He's again, blown away. He's taught me everything I know, good and bad. He would be my recommendation 100%.
Okay, we might have to reach out.
That's amazing. Well, I think our friend Nathan there has frozen up temporarily, but I want to say thank you again for being on here. Is he frozen on your end, or is he just?
No, you guys keep saying you're freezing, but you look fine to me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well,
other than that initial one where you kind of went like, but other than that, it's been good.
Maybe
you guys have to work through your conflict.
Wow, Nathan, are you looking at me, Nathan?
I'm looking at you.
You are so beautiful.
So are you, George.
All right, let's go to a message from our sponsors. Nick, you hang out backstage, and we're gonna say goodnight to you properly. A message from our sponsors, and I'll be right back to bid you all farewell. Thank you for watching. Make sure you go to Cynosure.com and find Nick on Instagram, because you're going to want to see pictures of his beautiful girlfriend and, of course, his incredible dog, Gus. You may even want to like a picture of his, too, so it doesn't feel left out.
Please.
Declemente on Instagram and on LinkedIn. If you have any professional questions about what he does, or you want to know more about Cynosure, you can always find him on LinkedIn, at Nicholas Declemente. So quick message from our sponsors, and I will be right back to bid you farewell. Always amazing having people from the industry that we work with that are our colleagues, that aren't necessarily doctors or nurses or clinic owners, but people from the rep side, the representative side, the business development side, the people that help these businesses grow, be on our show, because we've worked with so many throughout the past that we've really become true friends. And we say that every time we get onto one of these episodes, like, this is one of the greatest people in the industry. And I got to tell you, the people working in Canada, specifically in Ontario, at every single company, almost every single company, have incredible employees. It's not always just about the company you work for. It's not always about the device. It's not always about the skincare product, but really it's about the people that are going to work with you, because there is a bond, there's a connection. That's what's going to help you grow your business, grow your practice, but it's also going to be able to see things in a different way. Everyone that is on our show is a friend of ours. And when we say we are friends with people, it is because we are truly friends. If you are somebody from the industry and you have not had the opportunity to be on Skinterviews, make sure you reach out to us on Instagram at skin.terviews. On LinkedIn and on Facebook, look for Skinterviews by Nathan and George. Of course, you can go all the way to therevenuedoctors.com. You can contact us there through our email. Get in touch with us. Let us know that you're interested in being on the show, because we would love to have you. Every voice matters in our industry. And when we're all heard, we can all grow together. Have a wonderful evening, day, afternoon, good night, wherever you are, whatever time you're watching us. We adore you. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you to Full Script. And make sure to take good care of your skin, or you're going to need a treatment from one of the Cynosure lasers. We'll see you soon.